All right, ladies and gentlemen, Ridgid spud wrench. I've been looking for one of these for about 3 years. I do a lot of toilets, commercial, and these have no teeth. They're for removing the spud on a Zern or Sloan flush valves, which I made a video on them, how to remove them, because I have over 200 bathrooms in my facility. And that's a lot of toilets, ladies and gentlemen. And this thing's rusty. I think I paid $4 for this thing. I think new they sell, I think it's like $45. So I am going to set this in some of my homemade solvent. It's got a sharp edge right there. De-rust it. I'm gonna blue these parts. I'm gonna leave the color. It don't need painting or nothing. I'm just gonna leave it like it is probably. But the parts that are rusty, I'm gonna blue. I'm surprised it doesn't have a spring on the inside of this model. Huh, clean the inside up. It's rusted pretty good on down in there. Clean that up. Probably what I'll wind up doing, I may blue the inside there if I can, just to help keep the rust, prevent, because this thing's gonna get nasty. And I've dropped one similar to this in a toilet and broke a toilet once. That sucked. Yeah. Porcelain toilets don't like wrenches dropped on them. I'll go soak these for a day or two and then come back and see what we get. All right, I took this pipe wrench out of the that homemade solvent. It rust remover did a really good job. I rinse it off. I need that sharp edge. I got to clean up right there. And then I forgot I put this socket in there. This is an old school socket, probably 1910, 1920s, because it's got this. That's the reason I collect these old school sockets like this. Most people wouldn't pick these up, but I have the ratchets and the pieces for it. I went ahead and put some hand cleaner just to get all the, there was a bunch of pipe dope on this thing. I went ahead and just cleaned it off. It's not a big deal. But clean all the pipe dope off. Didn't really have to, but since I was here cleaning off, so you can see the pipe dope on there. But since I'm going to take this into my facility, I figure I might as well clean it up real nice. I am going to blue this. Run it over the wire wheel next. That's what I'm going to do. So yeah, let's go to the wire wheel and clean this up a little bit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about ready to blue these. What I did on the inside, I took this wire brush on my drill, cleaned that because I was going to blue the inside of that. Anyways, I am ready to clean. The problem is, I got sidetracked. sink in the house stopped up, kitchen sink. So I've been working on it. I thought it might have froze, but no, it stopped up. I had a co-worker at work, their drain froze. Which they couldn't run their water to keep from freezing because our temps were down to like 4 degrees last couple nights. Well, they couldn't run water, so they literally had to turn their water off at the meter. And when they needed water, they had to run outside, turn the water on. That would suck, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, that wasn't me. But still, I had to spend 2 hours unstopping his drain. I'm gonna have to dig it up too, because I think when they built the house, instead of putting a sweep in there in the line, they put a 90 in the drain line, and my snake won't make that last turn. It was a booger. So I'm gonna dig that up when it gets warm, and I'm gonna replace it properly. I'm gonna put a clean out there so I don't have to go in through the yard underneath the sink. I can go through the yard instead of going underneath the sink. Back in the day, plumbers, especially where I live, they didn't have to follow the code, because outside city limits, you kind of do what you want, which is not right, but should follow the code no matter what. I don't care if, I know there's a lot of people out there that like to save money and squirrel things, but I can't do things that way. So I'm gonna dig it out, put me a clean out, fix it properly. That's pretty good. Not getting much off now. Let's make sure I got all the lettering. There's still a little bit of black in the lettering. This spud wrench sells for like $75. It's a spud 2 5/8 Ridgid. Things are expensive. I've said it before, I've got over 200 bathrooms in my facility in the buildings, different buildings, and there's only about maybe 8 or 9 residential style. The rest of them are commercial, and majority of them have Sloan flush valves on them. There's a few that got some Zern, and there's a few that have Delaney. Anytime I switch, I repair, I switch out to Sloan. I'm even going to take a file. That is sharp edge right there. I keep catching off. I cut my finger on it already. So I'm going to clean that up with a file. Let's see. Should have done that first before I got this much cleaning on it. Let me put this in the vise, clean that up, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, cleaned it off with carburetor cleaner. If you're gonna blue, you can use denatured alcohol. That's what's recommended. I've been using carburetor cleaner for, shoot, it's what I use. I don't know, works great for me. So I use a brush. If you use a cotton swab, you waste a lot of material, so I use a brush. And the reason I'm bluing is just to resist rusting. It's not going to keep it from rusting. It will resist rusting. And if you wipe them off, clean them after you're done, you won't develop rust on them. If you throw them in a bucket after you're using them and they get all nasty and you leave the water set on them, they are going to rust. So these will see toilet work. Because that's what these are for. They have flat, they have no teeth on it, and the reason they have no teeth is not to damage the chrome plating on the valves. That's the reason. If you ever go somewhere and you see the valves on the toilet or a urinal all beat up, it's because some idiot used a pair of channel locks on it, channel lock or slip tongue and groove pliers, and they boogered it up. And Sloan flush valve assembly can get very expensive. You could be running $356 for a complete set. For those of you like damaging them, I do know a hotel chain, very high-end hotel chain, that if you damage the chrome plating, you have to replace it at your cost. So those of you plumbers out there that think you know everything, be careful. Look at that, bluing took really good. See that? Look at that. Just let it sit for a little bit. 60 seconds is what it says, but you can wait a little bit, but don't wait too long, because if that stuff gets dry on there and you don't clean it off quick enough, it starts to, I don't know what the word for it is, but it does not play right. Let's put it that way. And what I'm going to do in here on the threads, I am just use the brass brush and just lightly go over it instead of a steel wool, and that should work. Look how it's turned out. Look how black that turns. Probably don't have, I probably could have lightly cleaned this off and it would have been just fine, and I could have left it the way it was, but I don't know. I like my tools to be clean, presentable. And like I said, the facility I work in, I got enough left over to do a pair of pliers. The facility I work in, you really have to have your tools presentable. Some areas, they have to be sanitized before you can even use and enter in that area. So I don't need to do this socket. I probably could have left it alone, but I have it out. I might as well. This socket's probably well over 100 years old. Well, I know it is. They haven't made the Allen style socket in a century. See? Just let it sit for a minute. Says to wipe dry in one pass. It's difficult. Oh, look, didn't take. Look at there, didn't take. Either that or I missed it because it's taken. The bluing, like I said, it helps resist rusting. It won't completely prevent it, but if you keep them clean and every once in a while, after you use them, wipe them off, any moisture on them, they'll last. Something like this spud wrench right here, I've dropped one in a toilet once and I broke the toilet. That was an expensive learning lesson. Commercial toilets, newer ones now are all 17 inches tall. They're handicap compliant. If you replace a toilet, just buy the handicap compliant toilet. Don't cheap out and save 20 bucks and buy the low toilet. Even in your home, if you replace a toilet in your home, buy the taller one, buy the handicap compliant one. Sooner or later you'll be old enough you won't be able to get off the pot anyways. You'll need that little extra height. You'll definitely appreciate the height. And those of you short people that your feet will dangle, well, that's just the problem. Your feet will have to dangle. Look there. That looks good. Man, that metal took color really good. Just, that is awesome. Huh. Why didn't it take color right there? Just touch it up. You're supposed to let it set 60 seconds, but it took the color. Now, steel wool. 4/0, 1/0, whatever. It'll work. Just a few passes, look at the difference. That's the side I haven't touched. That's the side I touched. See? Now, see how rough looking the threads are? And what I'll do there is I'll just use a brass brush and lightly just go over it. See? Let's see this side I haven't done. That's it. Now, let's do the inside of this thingy. Okay, and just lightly do the outside of this with the brass brush. Got to be careful with the brass brush. You'll take some of the finish off if you're not careful. You brush on it too much, you'll take the finish off. It works for me. I like it. I don't complain. Yeah, it's pretty much taking it very well. Got a little spot there where I'm looking to make sure it's not, the bluing is not still flat down in the cracks there. Looks like it took color pretty well. All right, let's finish this. Look there, that took nice. That did a good job. Good job. The fibers from the steel wool. Oh, I got to do this still. Oh, almost forgot. Hang on. It's a 7/8 made in USA. Not sure the name brand though. There were so many companies back in the day that made these hexagon style, pretty much an Allen wrench style. I'm trying to get the bluing in the grooves, just doing it lightly. See? Took color pretty good. Pretty sure this is not a snap-on because snap-on, I don't think they started until 1928. So this could be J.H. Williams. It's cool though. I like those old sockets like that. Most people would never use them, but I do. All right, before we go any further, I got some old used oil. I just coat the oil on the bluing, and now those of you, there's somebody out there that knows, that's already told me about, it's a chemical reaction, I guess, the bluing has, the acidic, I think the acidic content in the oil darkens the metal, and so I coat it. I like setting it outside during the summer and getting them good and warm because I think the heat darkens it even better. It actually looks really good. But I'll set it up in my rafters where the heat, I don't want to touch, I got to clean the handle, I don't want to touch the handle. The heat evaporates it, and I don't know, it seems to work really good. I got to get me a toaster oven. I need an old toaster oven because I want to try to see if the heating of the toaster oven, if that helps. I need a little bigger brush. I got too fine of a brush for this. This will be a good addition to my toolkit at work. All right, guys, let me go set these in the rafters and let them set overnight. We'll come back and look at them tomorrow, see what we got. All right, guys, this has been sitting for a few days. Not much oil left on them. So just want to wipe that off. See, the bluing took pretty good on that. You can see the mill mark still on the metal. And then wipe this off real good. Like I said, the bluing is just protecting. It just helps prevent the rust. This will get used quite a bit. At least once a week. Sometimes when our water or fire department will go around and open our fire hydrants in the area. And when they do, it causes debris to sometimes go in our line, dirt and stuff, and it doesn't damage the diaphragms in the Sloan valves, but it causes debris to get stuck in them, and they'll continuously flush. They won't stop flushing. So we'll have to take them apart, either clean the diaphragms if they're new, but most of the time if you open up a Sloan flush valve, you just replace the diaphragm. But that's one of the, sometimes, especially in the spring and during the summer when they're doing that, there's a lot of that. So we have to replace them, and that's where this will come in handy, taking out those flush valves. Like I said, nothing fancy. I blued it, one coat. I mean, it works really good now. I took the spot where it was sharp, the edge there. I probably could have cleaned it a little better, but I just wanted a good usable tool. It spins freely. Man, you can almost, you can spin it with the thumb. And then this old socket, I like these old sockets. I know most people wouldn't use anything like this anymore. I've got ratchets that fits it, and there's a little bit of debris in there, tape, paint. Anyways, but it's a good socket. It's blued now. 7/8, old school 7/8, made in USA. Not sure, but I'm pretty sure it's probably J.H. Williams or something that old. But this is what I wanted right here. These are expensive. I think these are like $54 new. I think I got $5 in this thing, maybe. Doesn't matter. Whatever I got in it, it'll pay for itself the first time I use it. First time I take a flush valve apart, right here. And like I said, the reason you like these is because it's smooth jaw. There's no teeth. And it doesn't damage the chrome plating. And if you're in some of your higher end facilities, that's what they don't want the materials. They're the bathrooms. They don't want them to look dingy. And once you start beating up the chrome and eating the chrome up, it starts to it'll start to corrode and starts looking bad. So that's where you use a smooth jaw. Ridgid, I don't even know, it's what, 14-inch or so. And it's a spud wrench. It's a 2 5/8 spud wrench. And most of you won't use something like this, but if you ever run across one, they are handy. They keep, like I said, they keep from damaging your chrome plating on your faucets, your drain pipes. That's what they're good for. Anyways, there you go. Say a $5 tool. I mean, it's not mint. I didn't paint the handle. I just cleaned it up real good. I did blue the jaw, blued this bottom jaw, the turn spindle, and then the whole jaw itself. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tell me what you think. Thumbs up, thumbs down. It's not much of a video. Like I said, if I'm doing something out in the shop, if I'm cleaning up a tool, then I'll make a video out of it. I'm already out here, so. And this one here, this is an example of making money or saving money. This right here is going to make me money at work, and I save money by only paying maybe $5 for it. Where these things are expensive. And they are hard to find too, come to find out. Our lock supply store doesn't carry them, they have to order them. I found that out the other day. All right, guys, thumbs up, thumbs down. Subscribe if you like, bringing old junk tools back to a good usable condition. There you go. Y'all have a good day now.